At CoCoTALK, we'd like to thank the
Screw
patrons
you,
who
Stevie.
sponsor our show. So our heartfelt gratitude goes out to Al Hartman, Alan Murphy, Blair Ledoux, Boaton Aaron of Amigos Retro Gaming, Brendan Donahue, Brian Weasler, Karen Anston,
We don't have the
D.
AfterDARK
Bruce
anymore, do
Moore,
we?
Diego, Eric Canales, Glenn Hewlett, Graham Vedke, Grant Leedy, Henry Strickland, Jason Downs, Ken Reichert, Kyle Etter, Malfunk, Michael Pitsley, Rick Hewlin, Paul Fiscarelli, Paul Shoemaker, Paul Thayer, Rob Inman, Robert Murphy, Stephen Wagner, Steve Batson, Steve Rasmussen, Terry Steen, Terry Steggy, The Backyard Shed Gang, Tom C., Tom S., Tim Linder, Tom Heron, and Tony C.
Yep,
Thank
we're
you
live
ever
on
so
Twitch
much,
now.
patrons.
I just saw it.
CoCoTALK is an unscripted live broadcast. Anything can and will happen. The views and opinions expressed by members of the panel and the live audience are their own and not necessarily those of the CoCoTALK show, its sponsors, affiliates, or subsidiaries. Open minds encouraged, sense of humor recommended. If any off-color comments were made, we're sorry.
Hi, this is Dale Lear, designer of TRS-80 Color Baseball, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
This is CoCoTALK, the only show in the world featuring David Ladd. It's time to grease your weasel and do whatever yo please'll, cause we're about to rock your 8-bit world.
Welcome to CoCoTALK After Dark. Stevie is fired! Welcome to CoCoTALK After Dark with Stevie and Curtis, Mark B, and now I'm taking over. What's up, Stevie?
And you can
I'm
have
just waiting for my pension package.
There is no pension. Sorry.
Yeah. He's retired now, so he no longer gives a fuck anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly.
the golden parachute.
There is no golden parachute. Maybe a bag of coal. That's about the best he's going to get.
He gets the honorary golden stream, I think is what he gets, isn't it?
Oh! Do you want me to send you a cup?
After Dark is back.
Yes,
baby.
it is. How's it looking over there on your end there, Stevie? On the
I'm watching it on my big screen TV. It looks good. I like seeing in big red letters, Stevie is fired. It's like a billboard. Nice. Nice.
It's like a command, type thing.
Greatest 3 words I've ever heard in my life.
Well, have the heart to tell you that's from your regular job, not from CoCoTALK.
Yeah, right. Well, After Dark usually includes alcohol too, so I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'll be back.
The last After Dark we did was episode 167.
Man, has it been that long?
Because my scene selection, that's the last title I've got.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So if anybody is out there that wants to join, be more than happy to join. I'm just looking to see if there is anybody out there on Discord, but there is not.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fire up the chat here too in Twitch just to see.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everything's streaming well. We're just actually streaming. We're doing a test streams because I'm hopefully we'll be streaming tomorrow. So that's what we really are doing here.
Okay, so I'm yeah. Okay,
And for any of you people watching right now, sneak preview starting August the 14th, there are 3 episodes in a row with interviews already lined up.
Yep, we're on Twitch. Let's see. Let's check the.
Yep, let me check on mine and see what I see on mine. How is the Discord? I'm not Discord. The Dragon thing coming along pretty well.
Yeah, we got all the video test calls. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 of the montage intro clips that Stevie's already received. There's a couple more people that promised to get them out this weekend because he's going to be making a little intro video as a promo, kind of a bumper showing everybody's going to be on. I think we've got 14 or 15 confirmed guests now.
Stevie, are you streaming that day or?
I'd like to, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, that one I think we need some expertise on, and no offense, Grant, but
yes, well, and also Stevie better be prepared for an 8-hour show.
Yeah, and actually, I had sent out an email today asking for more bumpers and segment content, and I got a few more people asking for access to the Google Drive. So I think Karen asked for the access, and somebody else did too. So
Nigel Barnes did as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So we might even have a few more in that folder for all we know. I could check on that right now. The great thing is I can have anything on any of my screens and nobody will see it. Whereas like when I'm streaming, I have to be careful what's on what screen, you know, and all that good stuff. So this is glorious.
Chuck is fired. Oh no, 8 hours of Stevie. Yikes.
I am.
He's kind of got a self-conflict going there. He's he's worried that Stevie's fired, and then he's worried that Stevie's gonna be on for 8 hours straight. So I'm not sure what the hell he wants.
Yeah. Pick your poison.
Stevie, can you go 8 hours without eating and falling asleep?
None of the above.
We'll just set up a special snore cam there, Grant. We'll segue to Stevie every once in a while when he lets out a good rip and snore.
No, but on that day I will be prepared. So therefore, if we do have problems with
as a backup,
yeah.
So if somebody has a power outage, I can fire right up. So I will.
You might have to use your bandwidth too, with 14, 15 people coming into the call more than normal.
True, that is true. Yeah, so the picture looks good on my side. Looks really well.
Well, Stevie, on that episode, did you want to handle the actual physical streaming or just the hosting stream part?
It's fine, all the above.
Because if Grant gets comfortable, because he obviously has the best bandwidth of everybody here, that if he's comfortable using it
hosting the Zoom part of it.
Oh, yeah, just hosting the actual Zoom for the stream itself physically, and then you can do the hosting of the actual show.
So if he hosts Zoom, and then that's technically, and then I'm just joining Zoom at that point, but I'd still be streaming.
The Zoom
that should
does
be
Zoom
fine.
work like that?
The only issue I would possibly have is like if I don't have the ability to control who I'm spotlighting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because
we'd have to try that.
Right.
We'd have to try that. Actually, why don't we try it now? Can we try it now? Well, let me just see. Let me try to spotlight Grant. No, because you're streaming, because you're screen sharing, and when I go to spotlight, it doesn't quite work.
Doesn't come across on the public stream, yeah.
But that's fine.
So how do I spotlight?
But I think so. But no, yeah. Well, you would have to stop. Well, actually, right now, so what you would do is you would hover over one person's video, and you could do a right mouse click and just hit spotlight video, like Curtis, if you want to make Curtis full screen.
Okay, so it's a good thing. So I just go over here.
Ahead of the time, sorry to all of our
And then
viewers.
I think if you just hit start spotlight or something like that.
Is it add spotlight?
Yeah. Okay. Try that.
Hey.
But he's not the only one.
Yeah, you're still spotlighted too.
So let me remove
I
spotlight.
wonder if it's because you're sharing the screen.
There you go. No, there you go. All right. So you have just spotlit Curtis. You've made him full screen.
Okay.
Right. And so that's what I usually like to do. If somebody's talking for more than a period of time or whatever, or they're doing a presentation, I would just spotlight that person and then maybe just practice turning him off and going through or go around the room and spotlight each of us just to kind of practice.
Yeah, because the actual Dragon special, we'll be doing this with all the guests in a row once, general introductions and game on and all that stuff's done. Then when we hit the
so how do I
minutes of fame for everybody, you'll be going through them all.
How do I remove the spotlight?
There's
you
a
can
button that says cancel spotlight in the
if you can do there's either.
Yeah, but you're probably just going to switch spotlights, wouldn't you?
But you can't. You can't. You have to unspotlight one and do another. But they one of the most recent updates allows you to add someone else to the spotlight, so you can have side by side spotlights. And
I just did, right?
Yeah.
Except my union contract doesn't allow me to share screen time with slubbing people like you, Grant. So forget it.
All right, and so how do I get back to normal? So I guess I need to remove spotlight.
Just remove spotlight, and then you change your view to speaker view or panel view or something
or
like
gallery
that.
view is what it was.
Gallery view, that's what it is. And
Okay.
That's weird.
I'm just trying to imagine what the gallery is going to look like with the regular 10 to 20 people of the regular panel plus another
Be tiny.
15 people from the Dragon community.
So speaker view is where whoever's speaking looks like.
Yeah, like me. And it's gonna flip to me now.
But how come it's not?
That becomes like voice activated. So whoever speaks will hijack the spotlight.
Except for me, it's not coming back to me.
It should.
It's not. Hello.
Are you not talking
that's a Zoom setting. There's a Zoom setting for that to highlight your name when you speak.
I mean, with as many people as got on that show, I don't know if we want that because if any crosstalk, especially with delays and stuff.
Yeah, we wouldn't want we would not want speaker view. We would want to manually highlight each person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's okay? So this, let me pull up a calendar.
Here, I just shaved.
So let's go over to August. So so the first Saturday in August is August 7th, and then they're on the 14th. So they're the second Saturday. So
should we publicly reveal the 3 interviews in a row starting on the 14th?
Sure.
Okay, so August 14th is a Dragon special with well over a dozen guests. The following week after that, the 21st, is going to be Stuart Orchard, author of Return of the Beast, Bulldozer, and Rotab. And then the week after that, the 28th, is Glenn Dahlgren here to promote his second book in his fantasy book series that he promoted here when he was on last time. But he's going to also be delving into some more of the behind the scenes of running Sundog Systems software company from his college dorm.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And don't forget to do that on the real show tomorrow too.
Well, Glenn, I know is going to work on a little preview thingy again too. I haven't heard from him back yet. So actually, I haven't been on Facebook for a while. Maybe I should check. Maybe he did send me something.
So I don't know that the bandwidth is going to be an issue or not, and I would be more concerned about not having the control to focus the camera on who's speaking. But we could practice that. Like if you want to see, I can't see. The problem would be okay. So let's just say for the sake of argument, Grant, stop sharing your screen for 1 second, so we don't see that, and that way I can just see the panel. All right, so I'm going to try to switch to gallery view, which I can on my end. And on my end, I would be the one who is, this is what the broadcast would be showing. So even though technically you're hosting the call, you're hosting Zoom, and I am just joined Zoom, I should be able to change the spotlight. So I'm going to, and I don't know if the people on the stream are seeing this or not, but if I just.
Actually, on stream, we're seeing your whole Zoom screen.
Oh, that's because Grant has not remaximized it. Because you shared screen, you're seeing
2 views.
So you want me to do what?
I want you to maximize. Oh, what is that? What the hell is that screen there? Is that because I am screwing with things? Okay. All right. So I just made Mark the spotlight. If I go back to gallery view and I remove spotlight, okay, now I'm going to make Grant the spotlight. And is this going to make its way onto the stream? That's really the.
Okay, I see Stevie now on the stream.
Okay, so now I just made Grant the spotlight.
On the stream.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a delay. There's Grant on the stream. Okay, so even though.
I think because Stevie, you're most familiar with doing it from OBS. Maybe you host OBS, but if we have any problems, we can do this as a backup, even though it's not quite as smooth.
I'll do the OBS side of this, but if Grant wants to host the Zoom call, so if Grant wants to sign into Zoom as CoCoTALK, and he's hosting the Zoom call on his higher bandwidth, that should be fine. As long as, because I'm a co-host, as long as I can still control the spotlighting, which it looks like I can. I just spotlit you now, Curtis.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, there you are.
Yeah, you need to shave there, buddy.
And remove spotlight. Okay. So it looks like I can, as long as I can control the spotlight the same way, the only thing, and because I'm streaming on my end, the way I see it is the way the stream's going to see it. So that should be fine. So yeah, if Grant wants to host the Zoom side of that, that should be fine.
And I will still have to do the intro and the.
No, you don't have to do anything. You just need to open up Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just keep Zoom running on your machine.
Okay.
Does Zoom work like that, where it's dependent upon the bandwidth?
It's
of
not.
the host?
It's not. No, it's not like it's not like if he goes offline, we lose it all. But it would
Yeah.
still, because you have multiple co-hosts. The call is hosted by Zoom. It's not really hosted by any of us, anyways. So if Grant lost internet, he would drop
picks
off the
another
Zoom,
host.
but I would somebody else would become the host. You know,
Yeah.
So
I
I
just know
think
that you
that's
and Mark
fine.
have both had issues a little bit lately, so I just thought maybe Grant's would be more reliable to keep it going. Unless it's a Zoom problem, obviously.
Yeah, because the picture looks great on my side, on YouTube and everything. So we have
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good here, unless I see Grant on the screen, then it kind of deteriorates. But
no. Just remember, I am the best looking man of everybody. So
that's only because you're the only person on the screen at the moment.
Oh, you know what? I'm seeing things differently now. I still see Curtis maximized on the Zoom. So whatever
That's
I'm
because your
doing,
local view. is
my
that
local
way.
view is okay. So you need to change the view back on your end because you're streaming it.
to what?
And you need to
Speaker
change
view?
it to gallery view. Now
It,
we're on speaker view probably. So switch it to gallery view.
it is on
So,
gallery view on my end. So if I bring it back over here, it is gallery view.
but that's not what's showing up on the screen.
We're
It is
seeing
now.
two different
Yeah, there's two different
Zoom
things here.
panels.
Why
here.
are there two different Zooms?
Like there's a Zoom that's still in speaker view. That's what's getting broadcast.
Yeah, there's a Zoom and speaker view that's being picked up, and it's not me because my view is set to gallery view. I have no spotlights right now. Yeah, I don't know why you have two Zoom windows, Grant. The one that you're dragging around, just try closing it, and if just close that one Zoom window that you were able to move around.
This one here?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that one there.
But yeah, the one on the TV
Yeah.
I just saw. Yep.
Close that.
Probably going to tell him he's going to drop the call.
Yep, that's what it's going to say. It says end meeting for all or leave meeting. So
Yeah, just hit leave meeting then, because there's some weird shit going on. And then we'll all disappear for a second, but then just no, actually we won't. It'll just
You when you spotlight, it
Okay.
changes everybody's Zoom view locally.
all right, I am back.
all right. So
Well, now it's correct.
but the funny thing is that the way Zoom looks, do me a favor, share your screen again, Grant. Share out the OBS screen with sound.
Sound share. There you go.
Now with Zoom, you can share just the app or the entire screen.
Yeah,
We're
and
just
that's
seeing your
fine.
desktop there.
Yeah, and that's fine. That shouldn't matter. Okay, so now we see. I just see you now. My Zoom is mostly showing me OBS, and then everybody else is like off to the side in a little like a sidebar with 4 videos.
Yep, and on my end here, I see mountains.
Yeah,
Yep,
so
that's
you
what I see here too.
need to make sure that Zoom is on your screen too and is running maximized.
Well, I guess all of them would, but like if you tell OBS that your Zoom is on screen 2, then Zoom needs to be on screen 2 maximized.
Yeah, so all we're seeing right now, so there it is, and now it's full screen. Okay. All right, so you got Zoom on the right screen.
Yeah, we're on gallery view.
Okay. All right, so let me turn up the sound on. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna turn up the sound on my TV.
Testy, testy, testy. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. Steve has no testes. Stevie looks very confused.
Because I can't tell what sound is real and what sound is stream at this point.
You're in the Matrix.
I
lay
do
off
hear
the
sound.
mushrooms, Stevie.
Okay. So that does mean that our audio is coming through the stream. Okay. Yeah. Do this. Switch to a commercial break. Let's make sure that we can hear the stuff.
Okay. Let's do...
Here's a hi-fi bargain from your nearby Radio Shack store. Save $100 on our exclusive realistic 77 AM/FM stereo receiver. Only $159.95 during the sale. With audio component features like FM muting, push-button tape monitor, main remote speaker switching, in a genuine walnut veneer case. The ideal control center for your new music system. The sale-priced realistic 77 receiver. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Tired of your color computer art input device being low res? Joey has you covered again. Switch between 3 joysticks or mice. Select the left or right port on your CoCo. No more swapping joystick ports. Switch between standard and high resolution mode. Supports the Tandy and the Max high resolution mode. Pre-order yours today at cocoman.biz.
The music is back. The Mini Maestro available now, only from Retro Innovations. Go the number 4 retro.com.
Fletcher, I don't need that report tomorrow.
That's great, JT.
I need it tonight.
Oh, JT.
Fletcher saved over 300 clams, you dig, when she got her a Model 100 from Radio Shack, like a good little consumer. It's like a word processor, a phone directory, and dialer. You dig, man? It even can groove with your office computer.
Fletcher? Fletcher. You'll go far, Fletcher. You'll go far.
ESP 8266-01 RS232 TTL Wi-Fi network 4-pin DIN Fitbanger DB9 PC IP DriveWire. Oh, I'm much happier breaking stuff.
Hello, I am the Speech and Sound Pack, and you are listening to CoCoTALK.
Or wherever you were,
Yep. All right, cool.
Yeah, looks like it's working.
It is working. Ooh.
David, where are you?
Good stuff. Jim Gary. Hello, Jim.
Jim Gary, you've been a busy little beaver this week when I saw my new stuff.
The sunshine. Oh my goodness, excuse me.
Uh-oh. There it is. Stevie's falling asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Just wait till Dragon Talk. Are you going to rage quit that one?
No, not at all. I'm looking
sure?
forward to that. Absolutely.
There's some pretty interesting people on that one. I unfortunately got to miss the last one, but it sounded like it went pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know if you want me to, but I could try to share the Cocoa Pie screen.
Yep,
yeah,
let's
sure.
let's do
I haven't
that.
had a chance to fully watch your last video there. So.
All right. So then, in this case, I stop sharing here, right?
In this case, you stop sharing.
Okay.
And then I need to get my screen going here in just a second. So just hold on while I do that. Let the sunshine.
Someday when we really hate all of our viewers, we should get you and Bo together to sing.
Sunshine in. So now I'm going to hit share screen. I'm going to share screen 2 with sound.
I need to do spotlight for everyone. Is that right?
Yeah, possibly the thing that I've shared because I can't see it now. I can't see what I just shared.
Somewhere near Area 51, I see.
Yeah. So can you?
And your mouse cursor is up on the left on your terminal window.
Okay, so I need to switch mice now to the mice on the Pi. Okay, I don't see it coming through the stream yet. Maybe because my stream is delayed.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it through the stream yet either, just on Zoom.
You need to spotlight not me, but the screen I'm sharing, if you can, because I'm seeing my camera.
No, you know what? That's a mode he's got set.
What's wrong with the mode?
We don't want speaker view. You want to be in gallery view.
See now I have it on another screen. That's really weird. See now this is a Zoom issue. Something's not right.
Because I shared screen, it screwed you up, right?
So remove spotlight.
Okay, now I see it. Yeah, now you need to maximize that.
That's got to be a setting in the Zoom.
There's got to be a setting in Zoom. We'll have to look at Zoom settings, but you just had something over there that you need to move back. So what I'll do for the time being is I'll stop sharing. Let's compare notes on some of our Zoom settings.
See, see, this is the problem. I have 2 windows here.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
So that would be an issue.
Yeah, I don't know why you have 2, but because if you do something now, you're going to break stuff. So do me a favor, just let's do a right mouse click on your Zoom icon in your tray, and let's go to settings.
There's and the share screen is probably right there.
Let me know when you're in settings, and I'll read mine off to you.
All right. There we go. You see it on screen.
I see two windows on screen though. You shouldn't have 2 Zoom windows.
Yeah, but you should see my settings for Zoom here.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to be looking at that because I'm going to go cross-eyed. I'm just going to read off mine. Okay. On the first screen that says general, I only have 2 things checked. I have enter full screen automatically and ask me to confirm when I leave a meeting. Those are the only 2 things I have checked.
All right. So I have use dual monitor. So I'll uncheck that one.
Okay.
That's probably where your double screens are coming from.
All right. Now, when I go to video, this probably doesn't matter, but for video, I have original ratio and HD.
Oh, hold on. What was the other one you had? You had the enter full screen.
Only 2 things were checked. I had enter full screen automatically when starting or joining a meeting, and ask to confirm when I leave a meeting. Those are the only 2 things I have checked under general.
All right. Okay.
All right. Let's go on to the video tab. Okay, so in the video tab under camera, I have original ratio and HD.
Okay, let me get that checked. Okay.
Okay, and then under my video, all 3 things are unchecked. And then when you scroll down a little bit further, it says always display participant's name. That is checked.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is unchecked other than see myself as active speaker when speaking. That needs to be checked. That way, when we're in speaker view, you can also voice activate your camera.
Okay, got that updated.
And then for maximum participants, I have that set to 49.
Hopefully, we won't go past that on the 14th.
Because the other option is 25, which we could go past.
Well, I guess I can't change that since
because you're live.
Yeah. Okay.
Audio, I don't think we need to mess with audio too much. Let's go down to share screen. I'm going to read off what I have. Okay, when the size when sharing screen, I have the bubble set to full screen.
Okay, change that.
Okay, and then I have scale to fit checked.
Yep.
I have 2 things unchecked. So enable remote control on all applications is unchecked, and side-by-side mode is unchecked.
Okay, and do you have show my Zoom windows to other participants when I'm screen sharing? Do you have that one checked?
I'm not there yet.
That was right underneath the scale to fit.
I don't have that option, so maybe I've got one of our versions is not the same. We're out of sync on our versions. I haven't checked for a Zoom update recently. So what I have is I have 4 checkboxes under full screen mode. I have scale to fit checked.
Okay.
I have enable remote control unchecked. I have side-by-side mode unchecked. And then the one I say, the last one I have checked says silent system notifications when sharing desktop.
You said that's unchecked?
That is checked.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, for share applications, I have the option to share an individual window.
Got it.
It says when I share my screen in a meeting, I have it checked show all sharing options.
Got it.
When I share directly to a Zoom room, automatically share desktop. I have that.
Yep, got it.
Okay. That's probably all we have to worry about.
All right.
But
there
I
was
don't know
some changes
why
you had to make to do that too, didn't you, Grant?
Yeah. So I don't know why you still have the 2 windows. It might be the 2 because you had that 2 screen option or something.
Yep, we might have to restart, but
you might need to leave Zoom and come back.
All right, Curtis, your turn. All right,
And he's back.
I am back.
Greg is back. Now make sure you have Zoom on the right screen and full screen. Okay, I see it. I see it.
Oh, it was on full screen. My bad.
Okay, no, it's there. I see it now.
All right, and I do not have 2 monitors this time.
Okay, so I'm going to try to share my screen, and let's see what happens here. So I'm going to hit share screen.
So I need to stop sharing, right?
You're not even sharing because I don't see anything but your camera.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I am sharing now. Now my shit got small, but I'm not worried about mine. How's it look to you guys?
Looks good on my side.
I see it on Twitch.
And I'm waiting for it to show up in the stream. Okay. Boom. It's in the stream. Yes?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So now I'm going to switch over to the Pi. Okay. I'm just going to close everything for just a minute. And so can you guys see just the wallpaper right now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So this is the CoCo Pi image that is a work in progress. This is what the new image is going to be essentially, though. It's going to be a standard universal image where you download one image, you burn it to your SD card, you boot it up on one of 3 different Pi platforms, a Pi 3, a Pi 4, or a Pi 400. Once you boot up, you have to run a script that will then adjust settings based on what your hardware platform is. So it's going to adjust the audio driver, blah, 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 because there's different timing settings for the Pulse audio driver for different versions of the Pi. It's going to figure out what you have, and it will do certain system configurations for that. But in the old days, we had a Pi 3 image and a Pi 4 image. So there was 2 different images that Ron had to maintain. So now there's the one image. So the other thing, and this is actually running on a Pi 3 right now, which is the lowest end of the ones. And so I'm trying to do all my testing on the Pi 3 because this is the oldest, slowest Pi. And so my thought was, if I can get everything working well on here, then we know it's going to work great on a Pi 4 and a Pi 400 because they're faster. And the thing that's mostly different now is that it actually boots into GUI mode, right? So we have the GUI desktop because the old version of Raspberry Pi just booted to a text menu, which we can still run, right? So this is, you have to open up now a terminal and get to the menu. But this is what the the Raspberry Pi menu, the CoCo Pi menu would look like, right? So you have your Color Computer 2 menu, your Color Computer 3 menu, your MC10 menu, your Dragon menu, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So you actually kind of have to pull up the menu by launching a terminal window to get in. The nice, and now we have experimental support for OVCC, since OVCC is open source and it runs in Linux, and this is Linux. So for people who like VCC, we can run, see, you notice an option number 4 right now is we can boot up a Color Computer 3 using OVCC as the emulator. So the support for that's in there. Now, this is just me speaking. This is no judgment or criticism or anything else, but I don't see the reason to use VCC when it comes to the CoCo 3 is it's never going to be as good as MAME. You know what I mean? So maybe one day it will, but right now it's not. Even the current VCC for Windows, it's not as good as MAME. It's good. It's user friendly. So to me, the reason why people use VCC is because it's a plug and play emulator. You double click it and you run it and it works. And so I look at VCC as for those who don't want to deal with the hassle of MAME or don't know how to deal with MAME. But
and that's a fair number of people. So
right. But the whole idea behind the Coco Pi is that you don't have to know what the emulator is or how the emulator works because you just press CoCo 3 and boom, it works. So the fact it happens to be MAME is transparent to the end user. So the fact that OVCC are here, it's here, it's great, and it'll work. But what I will show you, just as an example, though, and this is probably just because I'm on a Pi 3, but if I boot up or actually we'll go back and I'll boot up a CoCo 3. So I'm just going to boot up a stock CoCo 3. And okay, one of the things that I noticed was an issue, and again, this is all kind of work in progress. The Becker port, oh, that's weird. There was an issue with this thing booting and it had to do with the damn Becker port in MAME. Okay, Becker port is either on or off. I always have to toggle web, and this is something that'll get fixed. But you see the speed of the cursor blinking in the CoCo 3?
Mm-hmm.
That looks normal, right? It looks like what you would expect it to look at, right? And so now, because it should be able to run both at once, but I'm just going to close it. If I go ahead and I say I'm going to pull up a CoCo 3, or if I just pull up OVCC here just from the desktop. Okay, let's see how the cursor speed is a little inconsistent.
Yeah.
So then again, this might just be because it's on a Pi 3 versus a Pi 4 or Pi 400, but I noticed when I fired up OVCC, it just didn't seem like, I didn't even try running software. I just said, oh, well, this cursor is kind of herky-jerky here. This is probably not good. And this is no judgment on the emulator, how good the emulator is or anything else like that, but just how it's working on Raspberry Pi OS on a Pi 3, to me, is not up to speed. So another thing too, and I showed Curtis this the other day, and I actually got Curtis to help me with this, but CoCo 3 Nitrous 9 is one of the options. Now you have to download Nitrous 9 first for this to work, but that's a menu option. It'll automatically pull the latest version of Nitrous 9. But I've got a CoCo 3 with Nitrous 9.
Ooh.
And it's going to boot up. I don't know why it's making all that DAC noise. That's got to be a MAME thing.
Just that Nitrous 9 crap.
No, we don't do any sound at that point.
Okay, but we're booting into Nitrous 9. I got to change the machine hardware. Let me go ahead and let it load up here.
Now, do the keys to like overclock and stuff still work in MAME on the Pi?
What are the keys to overclock? Is it F10 or something?
Yeah. F10 to unlock, F11 to display your current speed. And whatever the scroll lock equivalent is to get your menu.
Okay, skip. F11 is showing the skipping. But one of the things you'll notice here, and there's something weird with MAME right now with the scaling. And I don't know if that's okay. Skipping, whatever. But you notice here where it pulled in the time?
Yep, the real-time clock.
Real-time clock is here now. So for everybody who's been complaining about the whole real-time clock thing, and the other thing too is I need to make sure that the monitor, that CoCo 3 defaults to RGB. But here we go. I've just booted up into the latest ease of use, and I have a real-time clock. It's pulling the clock from my hardware from see where here it says 2146, and now my clock here says 2147. So when it pulled that, it pulled the time from the Raspberry Pi, which I also went in and set the right time zone and region to. So you can very easily take the EOU thing. And what was the command again, Curtis? It was called
just change boot files.
Yeah, to change
swap boot.
Swap boot. So once you boot in one time and you type in swap boot, it'll run you through a menu and you choose the third option, which is a hardware emulated. clock, and then that works. So yeah, so I'm now in EOU, and I can just hit clear, and I can switch through screens. Look at that. See what G shell looks like.
Just hit clear.
That's to
Shift right
spell
arrow,
G
add the
shell
second
2
L.
L's.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Shift left
So-
or shift right. Oh, you can do that way.
And then here's my mouse. And this is okay. So the mouse on the Raspberry Pi movement versus that on the CoCo is a little
Oh yeah,
disjointed
it kind of
there.
rescales it from what your actual mouse is, isn't it?
Yeah. So the black mouse is what's on the actual Raspberry Pi. The white mouse is what's in the emulator. But if this was running full screen, which I could just do an Alt Enter. Okay. So now I'm in full screen. And now the whole scaling thing is really wonky right now. Here, it just took a second to snap back. Okay, so now I'm full screen with the emulator, and then here
Now
I
it
am.
works properly.
Yeah. So what should I do here to show off something in the Nitrous 9, Curtis?
Click on DD, I guess. And you probably want to see a game, I'm guessing.
Is your crappy game in here the one you're working on, or is that's not open to the public yet? Your new
No,
game
no,
that
it's not
you're
even
working
close to being ready.
Okay. Tell me where to go, Curtis.
Go to games.
Curtis, you should be more transparent, like Nick is.
I have. I've actually shown the thing on the show a couple times.
Yeah. Level 2.
Yeah.
Arcade, adventure, card games, education, simulator, strategy, board games.
Whatever you want to do. I don't know how long you want to play and what you're into today.
Let's take a look at a card game.
Strip poker in there?
Yep.
Spoker.
Poker, strip poker, yes.
Klondike is normal.
Yeah, there's a couple of different versions from different people. So yeah, Klondike's just standard.
Okay. How the hell do I get out of here? I don't want to sit here and play a whole game of solitaire. It's not exactly an exciting stream. Yes. Okay. Cool.
And
how do I
click
get
stop tab?
Oh, just click on stop.
Yeah.
Quit. Okay.
And
Cool.
it's just like that.
If I want to go back one level, what do I do
Click
here?
the close box on the directory name bar.
Yeah, getting this mouse to get just where I want it's a little herky jerky.
Well, you can switch your keyboard mouse if you need exacting too.
So all right, let's try arcade. What do we got in here? Lander, Invaders, Pack 09, Smash. What is Smash? Number of players 1. Oh, this is like a breakout. Okay. And this works really good with the mouse.
Yeah, actually it should. It's also got some of the more Arkanoid type things like multi-ball and one-way bricks and all that kind of stuff too. You can even design your own levels with a simple text editor.
Okay, how do I get out of this?
This one's either Control C or Control E, I think, or Control Q for quit maybe.
Control Q.
Try it right now in the.
You sure you want to quit? Yes. Okay. Qbert 09. I don't know if I've ever seen this.
What was wrong with that trash can?
Is Nick watching?
Oh, this is in BASIC even?
Yep. Joystick though. I don't know what you got emulated for your main joystick.
Oh, because I keep getting killed. That's what's happening. You want to play again? Hell no. Okay. You want to play again? No. Bitch. No.
Just one end.
Okay. Well, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Okay. Cool. Well, there you have it, folks. Ease of use. It works.
So if I have a Raspberry Pi 4 that I've just purchased, where would I get this image?
Well, this image is not available just yet because we're still working out all the bugs. But it'll be at coco-pi.com. Okay. And then basically to get out of this. And actually, to be fair, what I didn't try on OVCC, because maybe it's just not as good in a window versus running full screen. So I'll try to run OVCC full screen for shits and gigs and see what happens there. I don't know if it's...
Actually, we had a request to play Rogue, and then Sammy Gaim says, can you play The Last Ninja?
Yeah, we'll get right on that. Save config, hard
Request
reset.
for Strip Solitaire, too.
Strip Solitaire.
That's for the really lonely amongst you.
Okay, I don't know what I just did there. I am not familiar with OVCC because I've never run it. Okay, so let's just look at some normal CoCoPie stuff. All right, so when you go to your menu, and we'll just bring up a CoCo 2. We can bring up a CoCo 2, bring up a CoCo 2 with disk extender color basis. This is your normal CoCo 2, right? So if you want to, this is the MAME UI now, which is to load it. But yet, for example, I can go to hit up tab, I can go to File Manager. I can then say, do I want to load a cassette, a cartridge, a hard disk, or a floppy disk? The nice thing is, if you want to load a cartridge, the cartridge software library is built in. So if I go to cartridge and I go to software list, and then I choose Tandy Radio Shack compatible cartridges, all the cartridges are here, and I can just pick one like Canyon Climber, hit enter, and it will boot up Canyon Climber.
Choices?
What's that?
OS 9 one of the choices?
As a cartridge?
Yeah.
I don't know that it is. But what I could do now, that way, so now what you can do now, because we're running in X Windows, is we can actually run more than one machine. So I will go ahead and put in menu.
And the Pi 3 keeps up pretty well with that, or
It
is
seems
that more
to
of
be.
a Pi 4?
Yeah.
Pi 4
So I'll go ahead and fire up a CoCo 3 now. I'll fire up just a normal CoCo 3. There's all different types of configurations. Now this is weird. This one I have to mess with every single time I boot it, and I don't know if that's a MAME thing or if that's something else. But I have to go to machine configuration, and whatever I have to turn Becker port on, and then reset it, and then it boots up. All right, so from here I can do the same thing. I can go to File Menu, File Manager. I'll go to load up a cartridge, just because those are already built in. I don't have to go looking for them. I'll go to Software List, Tandy Radio Shack cartridges, and we'll pick up something. Mind Roll.
Yeah, I'm getting anybody else getting a buzz on there?
Yeah, it's noise coming from MAME.
Okay.
Yeah, Mind Roll. All right, and then so this is
the sound from the game back there.
Yeah. Please choose R for RGB monitor, K for keyboard. Now, because this is a GUI, I can actually lower the volume now from the GUI. Okay, but you hear the music playing?
Yep.
And you see Canyon Climber running at the same time, right? So I'm actually running two CoCos at the same time on a Pi 3.
Now, can you control the volume of each one if you're running more than one?
No, this is just the system volume.
Ah, okay. Right. I think MAME does have some volume controls in its menu too.
Yeah, there probably is. But yeah, so this is one thing we could not do before in the old Pi because it was in text mode. Now, another thing that's been built into CoCoPie for a long time is Mikey Furman's Pi DriveWire. And so in Pi DriveWire, you can mount disk images, you can do all that kind of stuff to load stuff on your emulated machines. But Pi DriveWire also supports the MC protocol. So on the MC protocol, why am I not seeing certain things here? All right, so if I do MC show alias, MC, let me just figure out what my MC commands are again here. MC set dir show, MC get dir. This is going to show me where, okay, this is showing me that in the MC server, we have Jim Gary's repository automatically mounted. Okay, and so we've added a feature to I can't see my frickin' mouse cursor now. There it is. All right. We've added a feature to the menu, and I'll leave these two machines running over here. So I need to open up a new terminal. And then we're starting to feel the pain of multitasking on a Pi 3. Not yet. Okay, so when you go to your utilities menu,
Jim Gary goes woohoo.
All right, it is starting to slow down a little bit now. Two machines running at the same time, and I go to downloads menu, This is where you download your ROMs for your emulators. That's a one-time thing. If you wanted to load the Phuzix operating system on a CoCo 3, that's Brett Gordon's Unix-like operating system. You could do that. This is where you download the latest Nitrous 9 image. This is where you download the ultimate SDC image that you can now browse from any of these CoCos and just pull up, a game or a utility or whatever. So everything that's part of the CoCo SDC image on the Color Computer Archive, you can pull that down and run that on the CoCo. And this Ron Klein just added, this is to pull in Jim Gary's stuff from a GitHub. And I've done it twice today. Now it says up to date. Okay, so I've just pulled in all the Jim Gary stuff. Why is that important? And why did I show you that it's mounted in the MC protocol? Because now when I go to the MC10 menu and I pull up an MC10 with the MCX128 basic, this is another weird scaling thing that needs to be fixed. It doesn't like stretch to the screen properly. So I'll pull up MCX basic. And when I type in dir, please don't make a fool out of me. All right, there's some weird shit going on here. I think it's because I got too many MAMEs open, and this was a weird thing. And again, this is all still a work in progress image, but I'm going to close those other machines. The fact that it can run multiple machines is great, so there's some funky things going on sometimes, and I don't know if this is a MAME problem or a Pi drive wire problem. I sent a few screenshots to Mikey, but if I go to drive emulation emulator, I can actually stop Pi drive wire. I can restart Pi drive wire. We have the config file set to automatically default to Jim's stuff. So now that I've restarted this, if I go back to the main menu and I go to MC10 and I go to MCX128, which the fact that this has been emulated is pretty damn cool in my opinion. Okay, that's a piece of modern hardware. All right, so I gotta go to here. And if I just type in there, here it is. Okay, so this is everything that's the Jim Gary collection.
Wow, that's a lot.
C10 files, right? So and this is just Jim Gary's collection.
Is it going to stop?
In about 6 years, because he's been doing at least 6 years worth of software that I'm aware of right now.
He did mention to run his latest one he just put up, I think, this morning called Euchre.
How do you spell that?
E-U-C-H-R-E. It's a card game converted from Creative Computing, I think, back in 1980.
E-U-C-H-R-E. C10.
I have no idea how to play it, so he'll have to explain it in the chat.
You need instructions, yes. Okay. Object of the game is to get 10 points. The deck consists of 24 cards. The rank is 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. That's pretty normal. If a suit is trump, the order is 9, 10, Queen. Okay, so then Jack. Okay, the first J is the left bar. The Jack is the same color. Okay, I don't know what the hell he's talking about here. Oh, wait a second. Each person is dealt 12 cards, 4 face down, 4 face up. And 4 in your hand. So my hand has 4 up cards, 4 down cards, and my hand, my face down, my face up. Oh, that's the dealer. His hand, his face down, his face up. My face up, my face down, my hand. Okay, very confusing. This the person who didn't deal cards, trump, suit, or passes, which sticks the dealer with. Okay. I can't read anymore. All right. If you call Trump, you get whatever. Okay. Would you like to deal first? Sure. Okay.
This is why Stevie never gets past level 1.
All right. But whether or not I understand how this game works, the fact that we have it set up right now where you can load all of Jim Gary's software directly into an emulated MC10 is pretty damn cool. You dealt the following cards. Press enter to continue. Okay.
Jim is recommending running a different program.
Okay, I'm all in favor of that. Okay, what are we running, Jim?
AUSMAP, AUSMAP. It's knowing your capital cities of Australia. I don't know why Jim thinks that'll be easier for you too, because I don't even know if you do that.
Because it's graphical. All right. It's got pretty pictures.
I think we should just boot up EOU and run strip poker again. That's more up your alley.
Can one run the drive wire that supports remote OS 9 style Windows on the RPi? I don't know what that means, James Jones.
There's an option on the Java version of DriveWire where you can actually run virtual terminals. on the PC side of things. I don't believe this
I don't
runs
know.
Mikey's Pi Drive
This
wire,
is
doesn't it?
Pi Drive wire. It
I
could
don't
run the.
think he fully supports that yet, but I might be wrong.
Okay. All right. Okay. Answer 1 to 8. Where is what? Where is 1? 1 is over there.
I should be putting in the city name. Oh no, answer to 1 to 8. No. Hit enter maybe. Maybe it hadn't. It's waiting or something.
Wrong. Try again. Where is what? I think we're missing a key piece of information here. I'm gonna hit 1.
His video that he showed on YouTube there, it actually would say where is and would put the name like Canberra or something. You had to guess which of those numbers it was.
I wonder if because this is running on the MCX 128, there might be a little something off in how the code executes or something.
MCX.
That's exactly said. MCX poke problem.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
okay, Jim, do you have a recommended MCX game? Snafu, he says.
How do we spell snafu?
Does Dur have wildcards? Can you do Dur?
SNAFU.
And the problem is I don't know what the key is for the asterisk because I'm typing on a real keyboard versus what the MC10 key is.
No, it's just SNAFU. Oh, that's right. Asterisk for wildcard.
Is it a C10 file? It's not finding it.
Okay, not on the image apparently.
Yeah, I don't know what the pause key is, and this is an emulated MC10 using a PC keyboard. So what the keyboard conversion rate is, I couldn't even freaking tell you right now. I know what touch tomb is. Let's see if that one works.
Oh, snafu was the joke.
Oh. This is the one that's kind of like Tutankhamun. Touch Tomb by Greg Hassett. MC10 mods by Jim Gary. What is your name? Greg. Oh no, this is not it. This is a text adventure. Anyways, I'm not going to sit here and play MC10 games all night, but what I will show you is that on the Coco Pi image, and when it's released to the public, hopefully soon, like in August, you'll have all of this software at your beck and call. What I put out a message on the MC10 group in the past couple of days is asking for people to help me figure out if there's a way to put a menu on this, a menu loader, because I know they've got a menu for the MC32 SD card reader. I don't know if we can put a I don't know if there's a way to do a menu to read things off of a directory off of the MC protocol. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know how those menu things pull.
Yeah, I know the STC does, but I'm not sure.
I don't know if they're looking for a file allocation table or what they're looking for. So I don't know how they gather that information. But anyways, this is a sneak peek of what's coming to the MC10 side of things. But just think about that. And now, the fact that you can pull up an MC10 and have a bunch of software already built in that you can go through. The only problem I see right now is there's so much software in here. How do I pause the list? How do I pause the list, or how do I sort the list, or how do I do whatever? So those are minor details to work out, but the software is there. It's going to be built in, or it's not built in automatically, but you can download it, right? You go to your downloads menu, you say download Jim Gary repository, right? So we can run CoCo 2s, we can run CoCo 3s, we can run Nitrous 9, we can run an MC10 with software. We can also run XRoar. And now that we can run XRoar and run a Dragon 32, one of the things that Ron Klein did is he actually added the user interface to the top of XRoar, which before it wasn't here in Raspberry Pi. So now you can go to File and you can load or run or insert a disk. You can switch your hardware menus. You can load up your cartridges, choose your right or swap joystick. Shift Control J is how you swap joysticks, right? So hard reset, soft reset. So the ability to have this menu here, and even when you go full screen, when I hit Alt Enter, and this one it's F11. When I hit F11 and I'm full screen, so I'm in a full screen Dragon, but I still have my little menu here, right? So that's a nice little thing that Ron added when he recompiled this, was keeping because before we were not running in the X Windows client. So even though it was using graphics, it was writing straight to the screen, kind of like MS-DOS does, right? So now that we're doing it in the X Windows client, he can add this menu, the user interface menu above the emulator that we didn't have before. And if you run this in Windows, you see this anyways, but we weren't seeing this on the previous Coco Pi version. So we can get Dragon in here through XRoar. For those who want to mess with XRoar, it's there.
I will mention too, one of our guests on the Dragon Show, Paris Surratt, is actually working on porting the CoCo SDC style menu system on the Dragon right now with Dragon DOS, so that you'll be able to pick with the arrow keys and whatever else like we do on the CoCo SDC.
Say that again. I got confused. I was looking at two things at once.
Paris Surratt's working on doing the SDC Explorers type style software for the Dragon.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So you'll have menu systems and all that stuff. In fact, hopefully that's part of the video he's going to be doing for us for the show.
Gotcha. Okay, so now that I have it open, does anybody want to see anything in here? Oh, I'll just show you one more thing here too. Like, so if you pull up a browser, another thing that Ron was showing me. So it's pulling up Chromium, which is a generic version of like the Google Chrome, but this is all running on a Raspberry Pi 3, which is the lowest end Pi that this will run on. From the MC10 shortcuts, this is the MC10 Java emulator, and we actually pulled this one up and tested this, right? So when
is XRoar Online in there too then? Or?
I think it is. Yeah, under Dragon. Yeah, XRoar Online is here too. So we can pull up the MC10 Java emulator, and it runs in the browser on the Pi 3. So
I would guess because of Java that you probably would recommend a Pi 4 or Pi 400 for this.
Well, we ran it. We ran it, and it ran.
Does it run at full speed though? Or
actually, because I was playing Asteroids. So I pulled up Asteroids, which was a binary game. I am getting a little lag right now, so I think I'm all right. So I have oh yeah, we got some spinny winny stuff going on here right now. I don't know if it's wait a second, this MC10 site is not secure. Oh man. So if I do an exact, this is what I okay, let me type real slow here so the MC10 can keep up with me. There it is. All right, so what is it? A and S to turn left and right, L to thrust, semicolon to fire. All right. So yeah, this is playing a graphics game in assembly on the MC10 in Java on the browser on the Coco Pi. It's freaking crazy, right?
That's getting as bad as us Nitrous 9 people running RSB, the Radio Shack Basic.
That's like writing a basic interpreter in BASIC.
Yeah. It's like running an Infocom game in the CPM emulator under OS 9. Yeah.
So the Dragon Archive is here, the World of Dragon Archive. And I think on that one, you can go to certain software and just click play now, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the CoCo SDC, or sorry, the Color Computer Archive has now for the CoCo side of things.
Dragon Drive. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. I'm not that familiar with the with this website. Black Sanctum.
No, those are just walkthroughs. That's how to win the game.
Okay.
I think you have to click on. Were we on software or were we?
I don't know what I was on. I'm not sure how to use the internet. I need to Google how to use the internet. Downloads. Okay, downloads.
Hey, go back one page. Or no, go down to software. Sorry, there's a software folder. Go in there, and I think there's a subsection for games in there.
Okay, Dragon.
And then you have the publisher. So if you go down to what is it, Konga, Konga, if you can find that.
Okay, I'm waiting on. It does feel a little slow and chunky on me right now. A lot of different publishers here, huh? HNJ Kuga. Is that it?
Oh yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. Yes,
and
that's
then
it.
Balldozer. This is the one that
Balldozer, Return of the Beast, and Revenge of the Alien Bongo Beast are all Stuart Orchards, who's our guest on the 21st.
Right,
if you want to show off one of his games as a preview, go for it.
So if I click on Balldozer, is there play now? Balldozer VDK. All right, so if I click on
version, your cassette version, you've got there too.
So when you click play now, this should launch the XRoar Online. Here we go. Credits to 60. That's Karen.
Yep.
And here it is. It's booting
Another
up.
guest on our show that week.
Yeah. Dragon Plus DOS. Press any key. I'm pressing a key.
Is it loading or is it
I don't know what it's
running
doing.
slow?
I don't know. This is
There,
now,
it just
now
came
it
back with
says
an
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just running a bit slow.
So do I hit exec now? Yeah, I'm trying to run a Java-based emulator on top of a Cocoa Pi. The actual real emulators that run on here are working much better than this. All right, so this is not really.
Yeah, this probably is more recommended for a Pi 4 or Pi 400.
Yeah. All right. So, but what else do you want me to show you here on any of the Cocoa or Dragon or MP10 stuff as far as pulling stuff up?
What exactly is the kiosk menu?
So what the kiosk is doing is it just runs through and boots up a random cartridge on a CoCo. So like if you're at a trade show or something like that and you just wanted to have it run like 1 minute's worth of each cartridge, it would just do that.
Okay, so it's like a live demo style thing.
Yeah, so we have attract mode games on a CoCo 2 random. We have Dragon 32 MAME, and we have
You do CoCo 3 random. That'd be kind of cool. It'll pick something we don't know.
CoCo 3 mode games random.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure where it's going to pull this from. Share one CoCo games, CoCo 3.
Random program 7,
it's counting through it. I'm not sure if it's finding anything. I don't know if I don't know what the source for this is. I have downloaded the Ultimate SD, or maybe I haven't downloaded the Ultimate SDC image. I think I did. Check my utilities menu. Check my downloads menu. I'm pretty sure I did. Like if I go here, I'm just going to check real quick. Yeah, it's in Media Mount 1.
I have to say it's really nice having the GUI on here so you can get around and check this stuff a lot easier.
Yeah, it feels like it's running slow on me right now, and that could just be my Pi. I don't know if my Pi is overheating or what's going on here. What am I looking for? I don't want to see this shit here. I need to see media. Share one. This is something that you can get through. Here's the Jim G folder. SDC. Yeah, so this is the SDC image. So it's here. So I don't know where that CoCo 3 one is trying to get its stuff from. So that might not be a good example. That
might be another script that needs a bit of fixing.
Yeah, that might just be. I'm pretty sure the CoCo 2 cartridge one should work fine, and maybe even a CoCo 3. So if I go to kiosk menu again, CoCo 3 MAME attract mode games. All right, CoCo 3 MAME attract mode carts. Let's try that one.
Yeah, it says Dexter.
Now trying to find up fire up Dexter. Right. So if I put this in full screen, and it takes a minute to rescale and resync and figure everything out. So what it does is it boots up a cartridge, and I think it waits about a minute, and then it cycles through another cartridge. So it's just kind of doing an attract mode of cartridges. And hopefully,
so basically, the cartridge itself would have to have some sort of demo.
Yeah. Hopefully, the cartridge itself would have an attract mode.
Yeah, which Dexter should.
Dalek says, I never had a color computer 3 before. Well, you certainly can with their CoCo Pi. Yes, I don't know what the bloody thing is doing.
Or you could pay $400 on eBay.
You're lucky.
Or just get an emulator. Like Stevie has mentioned, VCC, MAME, OVCC, all are CoCo 3 emulators. So
yeah. So I don't know if that's a good choice either. Okay, now it's going to pick a new one. Now it's going to pull up Robert Kilgus Art Gallery. Woohoo! I'm getting some error.
Yeah,
here we go.
Art Gallery might have some stuff built in for the CoCo 1 and 2 only. So
and it's also.
Oh, hanging on the back report again?
It might be.
That might have been happening with Dexter too.
Yeah, and I don't remember what it's supposed to be.
Just run a CoCo 2 demo then, because you know that works and it doesn't usually use the clock, right?
And it might not just like that one might not be. Okay, kids on keys. Let's see if this works. Here we go. That one came up. Spinnaker software. So some of those cartridges might not just be compatible on a Color Computer 3.
Yeah, there are a few that are not.
So yeah, so it'll pull this up and then it'll be here for a minute, and I don't know what the timeout on it is, but after a minute or so, it would just,
rotate to another one.
Rotate to another cartridge. So that's in a track mode. Another thing he did was, this makes joining your Wi-Fi a little bit easier too. Is that you can just click on the Wi-Fi thing here and browse to different, Wi-Fi things to join, right? But another thing he added in the track mode, which is kind of cool, you guys have probably seen the stuff that Ron Klein does where he has all his collections of things. He has all these high color things that he's done, right?
Yeah.
See, and so Ron added this a long time ago, but if you go to kiosk mode, one of the ones is a CoCo 3 image slide, and there's a CoCo 3 tracker demo.
Oh, do that one. That's got some audio you can see too.
Okay. And to break out,
it says fatal error.
I don't know. Again, I don't know what the hell this thing's doing. So this is, I don't know. Okay, this is SDC disk images. Okay, looks like it's trying to boot up the thing. I can hear something. Sending run mode 13.mod 13.bas. Okay. You can see what's going on in the background here now too.
Yeah, I just saw that there. It's kind of giving you the script.
Okay. A through P, play mod file. Okay, now it says select mod file A. Addict one mod. All right.
Yeah, take a bit to load. Most of these mods fill almost the entire disk.
91K. 70 hertz video. A 60 hertz video, 919.
Yeah, you can adjust the audio. You can do lower fidelity, which would make a wider live graphical graph, like an audio spectrum analyzer style thing that moves really fast, or you can give yourself better quality audio at the expense of shrinking that and slowing it down so it doesn't sample as quick.
So is it still loading? Now it still says selecting mod file A. So is it literally take this long to load?
Well, 91K is like literally over half a disk, so that's probably what, 40 granules you're having to load?
I don't, I'm not that familiar with the metric system, to be honest with you.
Yeah, freedom units versus communist units. That's what the F and the C stands for, right?
There we go. CoCo tracker.
You have to switch it to RGB though.
Yeah, I don't hear it though.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it either.
Volume's up. I hear static noise from the emulator, so there's something weird going on there. All right, so maybe not the best example either. Okay, so
go to the pictures one then.
Yeah, I kept trying to, Curtis, but you kept steering me in these other directions. Let's get out of here.
I'm just showing you how much work you and Ron still have left. Is what I'm doing.
Well, it's not me and Ron. Ron's doing all the work. I'm just doing the testing. All right, so go to tracked mode.
You know how you do collision detection in games? That's your big claim to fame. Me is breaking menus and stuff.
So it is CoCo 3 image slideshow random. And these are all coming from Ron Klein. A Apollo bin. Dalek says, we're in the 40th year of the 5-year plan to convert to metric. So let's see what's going on here. Hopefully this is not a Becker port problem. Running Apollo bin. Run and execute Apollo bin. And maybe this is also a big file, so we'll give it a minute.
Yeah, if it's a high color ones, I mean, it saves like alternate palettes and all kinds of crap. So it's a fairly big one. But that Becker port seems to be a definite problem. He's probably going to have to change the default.
Yeah. And now when I turn the Becker port off, now it says closing connection. And now it says closing connection to drive wire server. So I don't know what's going on here. If I hit Control C, it's not doing anything.
It's a work in progress, folks.
Okay. Program run execute dme.bin. Maybe it needs to be on. Okay. Now it says run execute.
there you go.
There you go. dme.bin.exe.
Yeah, he's gonna have to fix that for sure. That's going to confuse a lot of people with stuff that way.
This might be a MAME default, or if it is, it's probably something we can fix in a config file.
Config file, yeah.
Hopefully we can hear something. I definitely hear like some hissing sounds, staticky sounds.
Because normally we're calling the drive sounds like when you earlier were doing it. It was when the drive loading sounds. It's not doing that anymore. It's like the audio driver got confused.
So there we go. So there's Ron Klein. Now that one doesn't really have any color in it, but that's just a picture that he
Ron DeVoe actually,
using that.
Not Ron Klein, but
oh yeah, Ron DeVoe. Sorry,
I was going to say,
or Al Pacino. But you can kind of see a little bit of flickering on it, and so I think what the high color thing does is kind of flips between two pages very quickly to
with
blur in more
the
colors.
high color one does,
Yeah. So this is pulling up one picture. So yeah, this would just go through and whatever Ron DeVoe had added.
Now, does it have the option of changing the timing between the slides? Like if you're running like games or something that actually is like an active demo, you would want it to last 2 minutes. People could see Fext or see Shanghai or whatever it runs. But on something like this, where it's just literally doing a slideshow of still photos, I mean, you might want to cut it down to like 15 seconds or something.
I didn't write the script, so I couldn't tell you. It's a Ron Klein question. I could probably open up the script in an editor and look at it, but
yeah, that's okay. That makes boring TV.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is the image slideshow thing, which is kind of neat. I had this running in my living room at one time or another just to pull random stuff up while we were working around the house and everything. So yeah, I think there's pros and cons to enabling the GUI. Okay, now it just switched. Now it's getting ready to pull up another one. Now it's going to do hpyny.bin.
Happy New York's my guess. See if I'm right.
Okay, and then here again, I think we're having this issue with the CoCo 3 and Becker port. I don't know if I have to turn it off every single time, if I have to reset the machine. Okay, it's weird. So it's Becker port has to be on, but somehow when you close MAME,
you have to toggle it off and on each time to.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know if that's a MAME bug. Does this automatically download the updates to MAME too? Because we're of course MAME's rather famous for breaking itself.
This is the latest version of MAME 0.234. Yeah, there's a download menu to always get the latest version of MAME, and you can also regress and go back to previous versions of MAME.
Okay, because that even might be the issue too. This might be a newer version since Ron last tried it and MAME broke something.
Yeah, it's not the fastest thing. Now, what is it? F10 or F10 is to unthrottle?
Yeah, and F11 to see what the speed is, just so you can tell, so you can slow it back down to normal afterwards.
2019, Happy New Year. And then this is where you can kind of see it's kind of flipping between the two pages. This is probably not the most colorful one to look at.
Yeah, and we're not getting the full 60 hertz, refresh rate like the real thing on your end. We're doing it on the stream, so we're just seeing. It's not as smooth as it would look, or not as smooth color gradation and stuff.
Right.
But we can definitely see what the effect would be.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to see it on your own end.
Yeah. So that's kind of what this slideshow thing does. So it's interesting. So there's a lot of stuff in here. The fact that you can download the entire CoCo SDC image. And so just to give you an idea, like what was the game of the week last week? Chopper
Black
Command,
Attacks.
right? This week was Chopper.
Week we're just finishing Whirlybird Run.
Whirlybird Run. Okay, right. So if I want to go to my file menu and I want to load in a disk image, and then I would basically just go up. Oh, this is a fix that we have to refix. We had fixed this, we got to fix it again. There's something weird now with MAME having access to root level folders. In order to get to the software list, and I don't think any of these are going to work, but okay, Pitfall 2, Lost Caverns, okay, Rainbow on disk. Let's see if we can get that one going.
Just pick this basic format.
Yeah. Software selected and missing one or more things. Yeah, so this list is here, but the files, it's whatever. So there's an issue here I'm gonna have to let Ron know about. In MAME, the MAME UI can't browse any higher than the home folder that it's running in. So it's running in like a user's home /pi
Oh,
folder.
file permission thing, probably.
We can't get above that. And that was something that we ran into in a previous iteration of this, and I believe he had fixed it, but because he created a new image that I'm working on now, I think that needs to be fixed again. So I can't browse outside of the root of these things here.
Yeah, he probably has to run a super user or something to get around a sudo it.
No, it's not even that. It's something else.
No? Oh,
so, but yes, but the idea is in MAME, you go to file, you go to floppy, you act like you want to load a floppy, and you just have to browse up to the root of the Pi. Then there's a folder that's called media, share one, and then inside there is the CoCo SDC folder, and in there it's all broken up alphabetical. You got like your A's, your B's, your C's, and you just go to there, and it's similar concept to using the SDC Explorer, but it's just a way. It's a way to look at the entire CoCo Ultimate SDC image, and you can load it into CoCo 2 or CoCo 3. Scott Cooper is asking, looks good. Will a Raspberry Pi 3 be able to handle this? Yeah, I'm running this on a Pi 3 right now myself. So
the 3B is a faster version of the 3, right?
3B is the faster one. Yeah.
It should run better than this.
Yeah. So the only thing I can really demo on the CoCos right now are the Tandy cartridges, because those seem to be in a directory that it can find. But I seem to be able to run at least 2 CoCos side by side, and they seem to run at a decent enough speed. And the fact, what is the key to bring up the, is it F5 to bring up the debugger in MAME? Or is it, you have to do a slash, you have to do a slash debug. You have to do a slash debug or something like that. Yep. Okay. But the fact that we're running in a GUI mode, you can bring up the debugger. And another thing that's here for future use is that the QB64 is here. This is the quick basic compiler, and it's cross-platform. So if you can get this on Windows, Mac, or Linux. So Ron Klein has put the QB compiler here on the CoCo Pi, because I am going to be working on a project in quick basic. I'm going to be working on a text adventure that is going to look and play kind of like an MS-DOS style text adventure. And so it's not a CoCo project, but it's a retro project, and it'll run. And so the final product, once it's compiled, you can compile it to run on Windows, on a modern PC. You can compile to run on Mac and a modern PC, and you can compile to run it on here. So all I have to do is to take my source code onto the Pi, bring it into the compiler, and then compile it for Raspberry Pi. So my text adventure game will run on the CoCo Pi. So that's why the compiler is here. So
when you say it's a DOS style text adventure game, what do you mean? Like, what's different between that and, say, a CoCo one?
Because the MS-DOS screen is 80 by 25, multi foreground and background colors, things like that.
It's like a CoCo 3 would handle it then.
Yeah, but I'm not writing it on CoCo. I'm writing it on quick basic on a real modern PC. So I'm writing it on a modern PC, but it's going to look and play like it was written for an MS-DOS type machine.
Okay.
And so
once you get it down there, you have the source handy. Maybe I'll see if I can convert it for the CoCo 3 then.
Yeah. But I'm going to be writing it in quick basic. So it's going to be just a form of basic, which is very similar to normal CoCo basic. So yeah. So the QB64 will be on here, so I can just take my source code and compile it, and have, whenever I finish my adventure game that's still all in my head, we'll be able to play it on the CoCo Pi. So yeah, lots of stuff on here. And I've only had, because my work and life and home life and everything else has been so busy, I haven't had a lot of time. But in the past, I would say 2 weeks, when I do have time, I've been playing with this and messaging back and forth with Ron to kind of get things going and get things tested. I obviously I have it on a Pi 4 too, and I think things would run a lot better on a Pi 4. But I'm just trying to figure out as many things that, the Pi 3 is going to show the weaknesses. So anything that's running slow or running weird, if we can get it optimized to run on the Pi 3, it'll run on everything. So
yeah, because the Pi 3 is both slower and it's also got less RAM, I think, too, right? So it's probably got a.
It's a slower CPU, and that's the CPU is really the main thing. Yeah. So yeah, well, that's all I have to say about that right there. But it's cool. I'm excited about it. I've been a big fan of the CoCo Pi project, just because it's so easy to run multiple machines on limited desktop real estate. Raspberry Pi is a real small box that you can tuck away anywhere and just use a wireless keyboard and mouse on it. So I like the idea of running all these machines. For me to have gotten out my CoCo 3 and my CoCo SDC and do all the stuff I had to do to even look at Nitrous 9, it would have been, a little bit of a process to be able to pull it all in from a menu, download latest EOU distribution, and then option 4, launch EOU and just have it fire up. That's super easy, to have it all.
Yeah, and having the built-in real-time clock, which is something a lot of us people with the real hardware want to get going again.
Yeah,
and there's some solutions coming soon, but not quite ready yet.
Yeah. So, but the nice thing about the CoCo Pi, not only does it let you use a lot, but I think it pretty much removes the barrier to entry. What is that?
It's my dog. It's my dog.
Is that a dog?
Yeah.
That looks like lunch. I've eaten things bigger than that. That thing wants to be a dog when it grows up.
Well, the other nice thing about the CoCo Pi too is that it comes configured for CoCo related stuff, Dragons, MC10s, etc. But it's not limited to that. You can emulate other machines on it too, right?
Well, not on
maybe
that.
not with the menu system, but you can do it.
Not on that SD image. It's almost, this is like saying I have a Mister. I can load any core I want.
Because I saw you had a TI-99 4A menu on when you were showing it. So
that was a favorite on the browser. Could he launch other emulators because he's running MAME?
Yeah,
MAME can emulate anything. Yes, so more emulator options could be added to it. But that's
that's not his focus, but
that's not the focus. Yeah. But could you? Sure. But it's meant to be hyper optimized and hyper simplified to run any CoCo style machine from a menu. And so it gets rid of all the challenges of how do I install the emulator? Where do I copy my ROM files to? Where do I do this? How do I load the file? So if you can make it all menu driven, then what the emulator is or how the emulator works doesn't matter. That's been abstracted from the user. It's just now which machine do I want to run? And when you go to run a CoCo, you can run a stock CoCo 2. You can run a CoCo 2 with the 6309. Or a CoCo 2 with a multi-pack and a multi-pack with an Orchestra 90 or speech sound cartridge or the GMC. So you've got all those other variants on hardware that's been emulated. So if you wanted to develop for the Game Master cartridge, you could, because you can boot up a CoCo 2.
And you have a debugger there too in MAME. So
right, you could boot up the CoCo 2 with the multi-pack and the GMC and the Orchestra 90 and all that kind of stuff that you can do. And so it'll do a CoCo 3 with 6309 and 2 megs. It supports DriveWire virtually,
hard drives,
all kinds of stuff. So yeah, and it's all menu driven. So you can choose from like 8 different build outs on a CoCo 2 or 3 that are all possible with real hardware, but you just choose it from a menu option. So
yeah.
So there's a lot of cool things I like about it, and there's a lot of software on there. And I think people who don't understand the depth of what's on the image are like, well, why do I need a 16 gig SD card when I'm just running a CoCo? CoCo disk images are small. Well, you need the Raspberry Pi operating system. You need the emulators themselves. And it's not just a handful of disk images. There's libraries of stuff.
Yeah.
There is, the ease of use, the entire CoCo SDC image, the Nitrous 9 image. There's if anybody's ever used the old HDB DOS, that's on there. So you can boot up HDB DOS, boot to a hard drive that's got 256 floppies on there and switch between them and load stuff off of that. So that whole big hard drive is there. There's just so much stuff on there. I don't think
some people realize too that just for the CoCo, I wouldn't even get into the Dragon MC10 on top of it, but the CoCo itself has already got, we're coming up on 2,000 disk images. So even though they're small, there's a lot of them. Yeah,
true. So there's a lot of content on there. And there's development tools on there. It's got all the tool sheds and the LW ASMs and all. So there's a lot of development tools and editors. And so if you wanted to develop, and what Rick Adams actually does is he has his real CoCo connected to his Pi through DriveWire. He types up all his source code on the Pi in an editor. He hits make and it makes it, and then it mounts it to a disk image on DriveWire, and then he runs it on his real CoCo connected to his Pi. So he's cross-developing from the Raspberry Pi to real hardware. For a lot of people who cross-develop to emulators, he can cross-develop to hardware. That's just how he set up his workflow. Yeah. So there's a lot of neat things you can do with it. And for me, because I continually try to organize and downsize, I don't want to have even one CoCo on my desk at any given time. I like the CoCos, and I'm tearing my house apart right now because we're putting in new floors and all kinds of stuff. So we're trying to pack things up, put them in the garage. I'm trying to, I'm going to be ripping up carpet in my office here tomorrow. So to not have to have the hardware in my very minimal working real estate on this desk, it's nice. So to have the Pi here, I don't even see the Pi, and I'm using my same wireless keyboard on my PC on my Pi because it's, I can switch personalities on the keyboard, and it's paired. It's like Bluetooth multiple
as you
pairing.
mentioned, the Pi is a very small footprint.
Very small footprint.
Right. Smaller than the MC10.
Right. And when I was playing it in my living room, I had the wireless Xbox controller, so I could actually play CoCo games on a big screen TV from my couch from a wireless joystick. So to me, it's like CoCo Xboxing. It's like when I play on my Xbox, I like to sit on the couch with a joystick that's not tethered, and I can do that on the CoCo Pi in my living room on a big TV. So there are some benefits to doing it this way.
Yeah. And how have you found it for compatibility so far? I mean, other than some of the things that are glitches right now, because you guys are just getting the whole scripts and everything else set up properly. But as far as actual emulation goes, have you hit anything that's really been a problem?
Honestly, before this, the only problems we're having now is that he's rebuilding this from scratch, and we're using new versions of MAME and this and that and the other. So there's some of that kind of stuff. But even the old images on the CoCo Pi ran great on the Pi 3, which is what I started with. So when I was playing in my living room, I'd always play on the Pi 3, and I would play any game in there, and it worked. The Sailor Man 64K test, that works fine. Your Sockmaster Donkey Kong on the CoCo 3, all the things that would break an emulator, they all ran on the Pi 3. The original configuration of the Pi 3 was before he added X Windows. He was even overclocking the Pi 3 to make it run a little better, but whatever. So, but no, as far as performance and compatibility, if it runs in MAME, which is what this uses, it runs on the Pi because it's MAME, and he compiles things compact and optimized to get just what we need. So if you compile the whole MAME, you get every arcade machine in the world, but he builds MAME down to what it needs to be to run for CoCo. So the MAME packages are super optimized.
Small and compact, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep, and I have mine ready to go. So when you guys,
you bought your Pi 4 when we were talking on Discord the other day, right?
Yep. So I have everything here ready to go.
We should message Ron Klein, and we should get you testing it too, and I can help you. There's a handful of things you got to do, but yeah, if we can get a few people testing this image and
Grant, do you have a Pi 4 or Pi 400? Because I know there's been multiple requests on the Amigo side of getting it running with a Pi 400, which there was some glitchiness, which should be fixed.
It's going to work on a Pi 400 fine. If it's working on a Pi 3, which it is, it's going to work on a Pi 400.
Yep, I got a 4. That's what I got.
So it's going to work because it's the latest. It's the latest operating system.
What is the 400? I haven't heard of that one. Is that the one with the keyboard you said?
It's a keyboard, yes, built into a keyboard. So it looks like a Commodore 128 or something like that, So, Ron Klein has it all.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's a real computer. No, Ron has the Pi 400 too, so Ron tests them on everything. So when the Pi 400 first came out and people tried to use the image that was on the website, it didn't have the operating system update. You needed to do a Raspbian OS update to fix the keyboard glitch.
Okay.
So it was an OS update, but because this new image is based on the latest version of Raspberry Pi OS, which is, they're not even calling it Raspbian anymore. It's a whole new OS. It's called Raspberry Pi OS. So the core operating system is the latest, greatest operating system. So
cool. So all that stuff should be fixed now. It's just a matter of
the compatibility is already there. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm planning to put together here this weekend. So I should have it.
And that came with an SD card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that SD card is probably pre-formatted with Raspberry Pi OS, so you might just want to boot it up and play with it as a Pi. It's going to look very similar to a Windows or a Mac when you boot it up.
And what size of card? I get a 16 gig card, you said?
Well, I would recommend, honestly, a 64.
64? Okay.
Yours probably came with a 32, and that will work. The minimum recommendation is 16 gigs, but more is more.
I got 32.
Yeah, you get a 32 gig card, so that's fine. Yeah, my Pi 3 has a 32 gig card, and it's running fine.
But for the image, though, I need to get a 64. Is what you're saying?
No. The actual download file is about 5 gigs, and then when it expands out, it wants to run on a minimum of 16 gigs of space.
Okay.
If you've got 32, you're fine.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've been doing this for an hour and a half. You've had no glitches, right?
Nope, no problems that I've seen.
Yeah. You want to just try switching to something else? I don't see why it won't work. You want to try maybe just switch around some scenes and stuff?
All right, we will.
CoCoTALK salutes Buck Owens.
You can see it, but no sound. Well, actually, I think I got it muted in a minute. Yeah, no, there's sound coming through. That's true.
I don't think I've seen this one, the Q&A one.
Oh, that's because that's a segment that we hardly ever run.
We've only run it once.
That's just an intro for a Q&A section. Like if somebody wanted to ask a question and we answer it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I guess it runs for quite a while, so
It just loops. It loops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then we will do this one.
The CoCoTALK train wreck is over, and we welcome you to the last surviving car. Join us in Zoom for CoCoTALK Caboose, a recap of today's show. CoCoTALK Caboose starts now.
All right, I think it's time to put this train wreck to an end. What do you guys say? Mark's asleep.
Mark's just so enthused.
Yeah, well, so the good news is, and thank you, Grant, for stepping up. But you know, the whole idea is to have more people available to stream the show because right now our only backup is Mark, and he's been backing up so much he's almost become the primary, and it's just kind of not fair to Mark have to carry the weight all the time. And because of my schedule and all the work I have going on with work and with home renovations, my Saturdays are becoming less and less easy to manage my time with. So for the next couple of weeks to have Grant as an additional backup to stream the show is going to be super helpful. And as Grant said earlier, he's going to fire me. So as long as I can get my pension.
Nope, there's no pension. No pension. No pension. It's called Social Security.
And get my government check. I need my government check, my government cheese.
Well, like I said, the golden stream.
Well, you know what? I know of some great beaches that you can pitch a homeless tent there in California.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, yeah. So what's the plan for tomorrow then? Is Grant going to stream?
I think we'll give it a shot. And then if I have problems, then we have Mark B as a backup. I think that'll be a good way to give it a shot.
Yeah.
What we got on the show tomorrow, Curtis? Anything?
Well, we got the regular news. We got the regular Game On Challenge stuff. We've got the George Jansen assembly language thing. Does Rick Adams have anything? I'm not sure if he does.
I have no idea.
I don't know if he's mentioned anything. Pardon my yawn.
I'm sorry. Can you do that again, please, Steve?
No.
So we do have the assembly language tutorial for sure, and then news is actually fairly busy tomorrow so far, and there might be more by the morning. So
Michael Furman will like that. Mikey likes the newsy. Yeah. And make sure you plug the next 3 or 4 weeks worth of guests and shows and stuff on the show tomorrow too.
Yeah.
And I'll try to jump on if I can. I know in the morning my wife and daughter have to go get a COVID shot, and I got to start ripping up carpet in the room I'm in right now, ripping up more tile, things like that. But hopefully I can jump on the show at some point in time. I think you already added to the news. I just wanted to make people aware of what I'm trying to bring into this Cocoa Pie image with the MC10 thing, because I think it's kind of cool, like how we can download.
Do you think I need to play both your videos? Because you had one kind of explaining what you were looking for.
The first video is not necessary. The second one where I kind of show the dir command and how it works, and you can just fast forward to that last part and just show that off, really.
Okay, because I know you talked about a bit more long-term project stuff on the first one too, so I didn't know if you want people to
the other one I was just kind of asking for people to help me think of a way to make this happen. But Jim Gary and Ron Klein already kind of got us to step 1, which is getting software to be able to automatically download a repository of MC10 software and have it automatically mounted in drive wire is the hurdle. That's your first hurdle right there. Now, how do we make it easier to navigate that software? That's what we got to figure out. And so if we can't do it through a menu, it might just have to be a better folder structure because there's so many freaking programs, break them down like maybe by categories first, like kind of like what you did, if adventure games and arcade games and board games and simulations, and then break them down alphabetically or something. I'm not sure, but it would be nice to not have to continue to delve deeper and deeper into directories, because typing on an MC10, even through a real keyboard, kind of sucks. And there's the backspace key and the arrow keys don't work. So you have to hit like Shift A, which is the arrow key that then backs you up one. It's a whole freaking mess. It's a hot mess. So if you start typing incorrectly as you're trying to figure out where you want to dir or load from, you almost have to just sacrifice that command line and just start a new one. So it's just like, and that's where the menu would come in and make it a hell of a lot easier,
Yeah,
so.
if you can get it menu driven, like clickable with the mouse, that'd be the best. I mean, that was the reason I did that G shell too, because I mean, older versions we didn't have that many games on, so the games folder was just like, here's all the games in one thing. But as you're getting more and more in there, and it's got so many icons to process, it starts slowing down. And this just makes it easier. Like I'm in the mood for a casual game, so I can know I'll pick card games or I'll pick board games. If I'm in an arcade mode, I can pick that, instead of trying to figure out what the hell is that game classified as.
Right. But there's a lot of promise. I've always been a fan of the Coco Pi. It always worked. It was never really broken, other than a minor compatibility thing when the new piece of hardware came out. It wasn't really something that was broken. So, but it's something that I like Ron's idea and his vision to have the unified image, the universal image where you download this one SD card and then you boot it up and then just run a script and it'll configure things for the machine.
Yeah, and he's contacted me and Jim Gary and a few others too to have these standard library repositories with standard file names. So anytime we do an update, it's the same name. So when you go to pull it, it automatically gets the new one. You don't have to do any screwing around.
And how he does it, it's freaking brilliant, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know how he's able to script and automate all this stuff. The level of, operating system sorcery that's going on behind the scenes with everything he's doing. He's like a Linux admin superstar to make all this stuff happen. So it's easy for us to use because Ron's doing a lot of hard work. So, yeah. Cool. Thanks for doing this, Grant. Thanks for helping us out tonight, Mark, and being here, and Curtis and everybody watching. Appreciate that. And I guess if you want to press the button, Greg, feel free.
Yeah. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
All right. Take care.
Except maybe Stevie. Hopefully you'll be able to pop by for a bit.
Yeah, I'd like to. Tell you guys what you're doing wrong.
Don't forget, you're fired, Stevie.
I'm fired. Good, dude.
I'll come on and say, you guys haven't actually been sending video for the last hour. I've just been hearing you.
All right. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.